What?
I'm having a life.
You need to tell me what that's like.
Yeah, exactly. That's just where I was heading. Here we go.
It's like an evening, only it's worse.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there. Welcome to the Flashing Bloke podcast. Sorry we didn't have one last week. Basically, somebody couldn't make it. They're going to remain nameless, aren't they, Eddie?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that right, Ryan?
Actually,
Where's Dominic? Dominic's not here. Yes, Dominic. No, that was me.
Oh, yes, we
Sorry.
haven't got Dominic tonight, I'm afraid. That lad is so busy. It's amazing everything he gets up to, quite frankly. Yes, that was one thing I was going to say. I can't remember what the other thing was.
Hello and welcome to the Flashing Blade.
We've done that bit. I'm Siobhan. That is Eddie.
Hello.
Who's at an interesting angle. He's changed his camera angle.
Change is as good as the best.
It's good. We like. And that's Brian trying to merge into the background.
I've changed nothing.
Ryan's got the orb behind him, though.
I have the sun.
That orb.
Behold, I have brought the sun.
He's got the shiny Eddie.
I have no address. I've never had it. I won't miss it. I don't need it.
And for
Hail complexion.
Brig Lover. Oh, how lovely to see you. You've been
Greg.
missed. You've been missed, love. For long-term readers of the Flashing Blade, I've got a nice cup of tea. See,
As
that's
far
what we
as
were.
this is also tea.
We were the podcast that likes a nice cup of tea.
So have you finished with the shandies and the ribenas? Back to the good old-fashioned tea?
So far, yes. Oh dear. Oh, I'm glad you have. Quite frankly, Brian's known as an essential worker. We haven't worked out why yet, so he's having to go out and everything.
It's expendable. It's expendable. Sacrificial.
Ah, yes, like teachers over here. Quite frankly, I'm rather
And
pissed off
nurses
with that.
and doctors and yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, people that you can't live without that really don't get any recognition at all and pay it even less.
So many of them
Absolutely.
are basically sort of saying, it's a case of don't clap for us on the doorstep, give us more money, fund us better.
Absolutely.
That or take this seriously. Wear your masks, don't go out.
It's not that hard.
And you're
Just wear your
spending
mask.
time with us on your first Sunday you've had off in months. That's very kind of you. Thank you. This is going to have to be a good one, boys.
Oh, I can't take the pressure.
Oh.
I'm going to be excused.
Well, I can tell you. I don't know if you've been catching up on YouTube, but last week Eddie and Brian had their initial podcasting interview examination. They both passed, so they did very well. One day I'll arrange for you to interview Ian Levine.
No. No, you're okay, you're fine. No.
But okay.
I've listened to many an interview with that man. No.
I can tell you what happened when we were there, because it was Dave, Professor Dave, and myself, and Ware sat on a couch, he sat in a chair, and I'd ask a question, and that's it. He just took over totally, and was constantly talking, and every now and again he'd hold his glass out like that to have it topped up, just automatically assuming that was working. It was King Levine in his royal palace.
No, that might actually work for us. Just ask one question and let him go.
That's true. It's Oh, as Dave, I felt sorry for because certain things were said in that interview, and I let a couple of people it concerned know about it, and they basically said legal action would be forthcoming unless. And so Dave, I think, probably spent most of the night editing it with a fine tooth comb to try and make sure. Yeah.
I can imagine Dave's reaction then to that. I'm sure that he did it with a big smile on his face and joy in his heart.
Yeah. No. No. Oh dear.
Is that before or after he moved to Floridia?
Oh,
think it was one of
good.
the causes.
I like that. Floridia.
Floridia.
I'm licking
That's
that.
what we call it up here. Yeah.
Floridia. So we got Floridia, we got Canada. I like this. We're slowly renaming them.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. The Flashing Blade Globe of the World. Well, the Flashing Blade I Rule It Globe of the World. It's a good one. That's what I always imagined the Victorians to have. The I Rule It, or We Rule It map of the world, you know? So it sounds like chlamydia.
It's not that far off.
Florida. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I've been to Florida. That's pretty good. Yes.
Florida's a special place.
Oh, you have no idea. You're not from America. You have no idea.
Oh, Dave has been keeping us in touch, and the internet, to be fair, does a very good job of that as well. You know, it's a case of Florida man strikes again. It's just, some of the things. Do you think possibly, I don't know, in the 50s or 60s, the CIA did something to the water there?
Yeah.
Might explain it.
Actually, they mutated the mosquito, so when you get a mosquito bite, you get the Florida virus in you.
Oh, dear God. That's a terrible thing. A terrible
So
thing
they
to occur.
stay inside.
Ooh, that reminds me, I've got to buy myself a plug with a 2-pin adapter in it.
My overarching memory of Florida is we went there. We did the whole Disney and Universal Studios thing, and it was one of the parades, and there was this gentleman in one of those scooters, not like yours, Siobhan, except it was the 4-wheel souped up, up and down curbs, round corners.
Oh, he had a scooter, not a
Levitated.
wheelchair.
Yeah. So he got to the front, and the parade started. And as soon as the parade started, forgot and jumped up and down and was all excited. And it was, okay then. It was a Disney miracle. It was an absolute Disney miracle.
The healing power of Mickey.
Yeah,
Oh,
and pushed back. Little kids and children were escorted away so that this person could get to the front. Yeah, and then forgot about their disability as soon as the Princess Peach or whatever it is passed in the parade. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, my word. I wonder if he got thrown out.
Oh, probably not. He's spending money, isn't he? So that was the other thing with Disney. As long as you'd cash to spend, it was like you were treated like a god.
You say you went to Florida. I'm not entirely certain the United States exists. I've said this before.
It's a lot like Australia, like that.
It might be a place, but I don't think the actual amalgamation of it actually exists. There cannot be a country that mad. There just can't be. Quite frankly, I think we've made it up. I think that's what it is. It's just something for us to look at and think, well, all right, we've got Boris Johnson, but at least. Yeah, I've yet to be convinced, I'm afraid.
We're the country of hold my beer.
I still say that basically what you've got is Canada, then the South Canadian Sea, and then Mexico. That's what I reckon it is. And they've decided to use that space of water to invent the America.
Well, did you hear about the conspiracy theory that thinks Australia doesn't exist?
Is this anything to do with the flat earthers?
It's about as stupid.
Well, yeah, that's why I went there. Tell us, please tell us.
I've watched.
I can't process that much stupid in my general day-to-day. I only read the title of it. Apparently, there's a conspiracy theory that believes that Australia is made up, that it's all a plot by the government.
Which government?
I'm sorry, the world government.
Oh, right, okay. So
Because-
does that mean we basically sent all those convicts to drown?
Yes. Yes, you sent them
Bit
off.
harsh,
so that
really,
they
when you
could-
think about it.
Well, they're imprisoned in a penal colony that is being experimented upon. Hence all the dangerous animals.
Right. Okay. To be fair, everything in Australia does want to kill you.
It
So,
does.
yeah.
Some of them can't, but they still want to.
Another reason not to get famous. You don't have to go over to Australia to perform or to film.
You know, I miss the days when conspiracy theorists were limited to UFOs and Bigfoot and stuff.
And the flat Earth. Flat Earth is always fun. I mean,
Well, today's conspiracy theorists make, the ones from the 90s look downright sane.
oh yes. I mean, the one thing I love is I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, but it's the Flat Earth Society website saying it's the
Hold a wee
biggest
minute. Say
society.
that again. Apocryphal. Sorry, I'm going to have to Google that. Carry on.
Okay. Where basically they said they were the largest society around the globe. And
Say that again one more time, real slow.
yeah, exactly. It's just the
Around
Patriots
the world,
and
we're the
Illuminati.
biggest-
Hang on, this is important news. Important conspiracy news, boys and girls. This is from Brig Lover. The Patriots and Illuminati rule the world. I thought everyone knew this.
I just thought it was a pipe smoking rabbit.
I always thought Dr. Sinister had a lot to do with it, if I'm honest.
That is that theory.
Yeah. Be nice if we could do more
Should
of
we
those.
tell Dr. Sinister this?
No, it's
No.
better that he carries on striving for it,
Okay.
if I'm honest.
Keep them honest.
Yes.
Keep them working.
He's having little problems at the moment. Tiny, niggly little annoying problems. I think, his car washer, windscreen washer got, something happened to it and it started spurting onto-
Misaligned.
Yes, that's brilliant, lovely. Can you look up misaligned, please, Eddie?
Sorry, I'm still looking up apocryphal.
Okay.
Oh, doubtful authenticity. Right, I can do one. Was that windshield washers that was to look up there?
Misaligned.
Misaligned,
Misaligned.
please. Yes, please, if
Misaligned,
you don't
right.
mind.
Oh, I know what a misalign is. It's a tyre, isn't it? Misaligned tyres. Carry on.
He's right. It looks a lot like the
I
Stay
thought
Puft
it was the
Marshmallow
restaurant
Man.
rating.
It's a sugary thing as well. You get a
Misaligned
misaligned
star?
rate. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, the so-called star just looks like a little tyre, which is on a sticker that they can put on the window.
So, yep.
We've got that sorted.
All right.
You see, this is how we do it, world. This is how we put society back together. Oh yes. Oh Jesus. Anyway, Brian, how has your week been?
Bad. Not bad. I've been working on some RPG projects.
Ah, yes, I need to read that. I didn't read what
Yeah.
you'd put, but yes. I'm looking forward to that. Dave Balanitis'
Mind you, I haven't been
Thruster will be
working
back.
in that game system that I put it in, but yeah.
And I get to do the voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
That's
That's quite. That is good. That is well done.
it's better than Ewan McGregor's. Let's put it that way.
Mine's better than Ewan McGregor's. I'm doing it now. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Hey,
Go.
how's your Connery?
McConaughey.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Bond. That's it.
Oh, splendid. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
there's Roger.
No, see, I do Roger Moore, and it comes out as that. Oh, remarkable! I just,
Oh, he's a bit like that
you.
Cyberman from Attack of the Cybermen that sounds like Kermit.
no,
Fuck are we talking about?
I've just been shocked by chat.
What? Ooh.
How could you? The only people who haven't seen Star Wars are the people that are in it.
Okay, this is an honorary one. This is an honorary one, but it needs to happen.
Oh, sorry, I feel quite faint.
It should actually be unworthy of the Star Destroyer, but I haven't got that. So you've earned yourself
I
that,
had
Brig
pearls,
Lover.
I would be clutching them.
I'll wear it for you, Brig. Don't worry. There you go.
Hello,
I'll be
Radox the
proxy.
Red. Radox the Red is here.
Hello,
He's
Radox.
green to me.
You've just missed out on Brig Lover saying that she hasn't seen Star Wars ever. They actually
need
have
pearls.
a radio show. I've never seen Star
yeah.
Wars.
Marcus Brigstock.
Yeah, it's either a radio show or it was a TV show for a little bit.
They did both. It started off Radio 4, then they did it for a couple of seasons on
Yeah,
TV. It's a
and-
great show.
It's basically getting celebs to do things they've never done before. So, and watching Star Wars.
I probably should never be put in charge of that show.
Do you know, I'm tempted now. I want to know.
We should do a version for this then.
Well, I've never seen Star Wars. No, I think Brian is quietly sitting on his temper.
Brian is trying to keep this as PG-13 as possible.
Fuck it. Right, so how was your week this week, Brian? God.
Excellent.
Hooray! Is that it?
It's excellent. I've been working on some RPG projects.
Okay.
Just little things.
So, okay, right. Very, very small week for Brian this week,
Yeah.
which is
Been
good,
working.
to be fair.
I've been doing my job and I've been working on RPG stuff.
Oh, well, you're happy.
I have nothing exciting.
How is Jess?
Jess is doing quite excellent. She has been delving into the HelloFresh catalog.
Actually, you're really doing a big job of selling this HelloFresh cable.
Oh yeah, I took all the cards we got with all the recipes and ingredients and everything, and I actually scanned them, so they're now PDFs, so that we can pull them up whenever. Because the ingredients they give you, you can just buy at the store.
Or you can just put the packets in the drawer,
Yeah,
cut
you
the
can just
recipe
buy it.
out and just... But no, you had to go all sci-fi, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Scan it in, digitize it.
I digitized it. It's on the net. It's in the cloud.
It's in the Matrix. It's part of the Matrix.
Part of the Matrix now.
Dear, oh
And
dear.
now you're going to wonder why chicken always tastes like everything else.
Okay. Brig Lover has said she's a Doctor Who Star Trek girl. Also a slight obsession with murder, she wrote. Murder,
Brig Lover,
she
have
wrote.
you seen the Magnum episode?
The
The
two-parter.
crossover between the two-parter between
We
Magnum
talked about that a
PI
couple of weeks
and
ago.
We did.
Murder, She
We
Wrote?
did. We did.
We did.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was barking mad.
She has.
Yes. You see, this is the sort of viewer we want for the Flashing Blade. Very much so.
Seems to be in line with our madness.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Mind you, she says she has seen it. It might be a holy text to her. And we're sitting here taking... Tom Selleck looks like my dad. Oh, goodness.
You've got one cool dad. Wow. Everybody
Does he
should have a
drive a
dad.
Ferrari
Tom
too?
Selleck.
Because he
Testarossa.
drives a Ferrari.
Fire Engine Red.
I'm available for adoption. I'm just putting that out.
So, Eddie, how was your
Yeah.
week?
Interesting. So 2 weeks ago I turned 50. So we'll forget about that. So I'm now
Happy
middle
birthday.
age.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Eddie.
Yeah. So
Did I
this
send
week
you a present?
it hasn't arrived. If you did, is this a confection? Or...
Did we know about this prior to today?
I kept it quiet. I didn't want any fuss over it.
I know
So
I
then
thought. Because
I
we
think-
would have made a bigger deal than this.
I
Omen.
think it was the Jelly Babies. Or was that for Christmas?
That was for Christmas. I got them for Christmas.
In that case, no, I haven't sent you a present. Oh, I feel
We're
quite
going
bad
to have
about
to
that.
do something about
Don't
that.
worry. No problem.
You're
Oh,
only
shut up,
51.
talking like a headless chicken.
You're only as old as the woman you feel it, and my wife is imaginary, so I'm practically a newborn.
Oh, dear God, we're heading
this-
into quantum stuff.
Mhm.
Oh,
This week, I got my first COVID jab. Yeah, so we got a letter on Tuesday saying that we're part of Category 6 because we're unpaid carers for Angela's mum. I think we still classify as carers for Jack, even though he doesn't stay with us. So we got my first jab. They sit you down and they tell you what you're getting, whether it's the Oxford, whether it's the AstraZeneca. They gave me something called Ephemeral, which is very good because I don't know about COVID, but it stopped the voices in my head.
No, that's
So
us.
I
love.
can
That's us.
momentarily.
And
Sorry, I was watching Scanners earlier on
I,
today.
I was thinking very
Scanners.
possibly that basically
That's
your
okay,
wife
I'm
had obviously
trying
gone
to-
out for the afternoon because you couldn't see her.
So I got the Pfizer jab, and for anybody that cares to listen, it was I felt it. It was the jab was fine. That evening, I could feel that something had hurt my shoulder, and it was a bit uncomfortable, but not painful. And by the morning, it was gone. So so I go back in 12 weeks and get the second jab.
Fair enough.
And today we got back to see Jack face to face this afternoon.
Yes.
So we got
Yes.
so we're back. Hence the Percy t-shirt. So we got to
Nice.
see him today. And it's new rules at Ridge Park at his care centre. So they've got the rapid test lab, or the RTL. So we get tested. We arrive 30 minutes later. So I got my first COVID test today, and you get the results 30 minutes later.
That's good.
Oh, that was quite. So you stick it down
They
your throat.
tickle your brain, don't they?
Yeah, well, they gave us the swab, and it was like, stick it down your own throat.
It wasn't
Keep
the
it
anal,
there.
anal
Got
thing
the
then.
throat swab, you lucky dog.
Oh, no, it gets better. So stick it down your throat for 10 seconds, then take it out and stick it up your nose for 10 seconds. And I'm going, so that there's two swabs. So one for, no, down your throat. So fine. I did it like a trooper. It was great.
Any
You
vomiting?
put it, well, we'll get there. So you put it in. I did it first. And then you put it in a solution, and then the solution, it's in a wee vial, you close it, and then you put it into this little beaker thing, it's like a pregnancy test, it's smaller. You push it in there, and then you leave it for 30 minutes, and it tells you whether you get COVID or not. So both me and Angela were negative, so they brought Jack out. Angela, right, a nurse, an ex-nurse, the gagging reflex kicked in. So she couldn't keep it down her throat for any more than a few seconds at a
It's
time.
got nothing to do
So,
with her
no.
once being a nurse. She can't help her gag reflex.
Does it? Well, I found it fairly funny. So, and then it was my giggle reflex kicked in, her gag reflex kicked in, and then she did it. So this is the new regiment now. That we'll get to see Jack every Sunday, but we've got to do this. Arrive 30 minutes early, take a COVID test. But it's the fact now that it's Health Protection Scotland again. Great organisation as well. Totally, people a lot of them are criticising. They're being too overly anal in terms of tests and this and that. The guys.
So
are
it
doing
was
their
the
job.
anal test you had?
No, that's next week.
Okay.
That's next week. I'm quite looking forward to that.
Just remembered the opening to Doctor Who.
Yes, the Capaldi era. Yes. Oh no, the new era. It's the Jodie
The
Whittaker
new era.
yeah.
Just have the
Yeah.
music playing when you go do that. Dun, 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 dun.
So we passed. They brought Jack out. We already had a KFC set aside for him, and it was great because he needed to go to the toilet, and the toilet with Jack usually signifies, right, that's me. You've had enough. So we took him over. We actually, because we've got the first dose of the vaccine and stuff now, they've relaxed it. We can see him on our own now. We've not got somebody supervising us. So we go to this area called the polytunnel. They've got heaters in it now. They've done it up like a wee living room. It's basically a greenhouse.
That's
So
amazing.
they've made it. They couldn't have made it any more homely. Took him to the toilet, and it was a case of no bye. So we went to the toilet and we had to go back, and we got a good hour with him, and he was on great form. So just not that anybody from those organisations listening, but Health Protection Scotland, thank you. Thank you for being reasonable and really, really helpful. And they do not deserve their reputation. The guys are just trying to do their job and make sure that people are getting kept safe. And Scottish Autism, I will never hear anything bad said against their organisation. They're professionals, they're carers. The person that actually did the test today, Jennifer, came in on a day off. It was going to be a case that we'd get to see Jack on Wednesday night, and she said, "No, you're not waiting until Wednesday night. You can come and see him on Sunday." And then when we found out there that she'd actually came in on a day off to make sure that one, that we did all the paperwork, and that she took the test. Because at the moment, there'll be more people trained up next week within the organisation to do it, but at the moment she's the only one that's trained to do it. So, lovely people, great carers, so it's been a good day.
Excellent.
Fair enough. Okay. I need to segue now. I'm not sure how. Radox the Green he's got a problem. Apparently he's seeing chat responses before I've said the comment it's referring to.
It's in the future. He's watching the future.
Oh, fair enough. Hello, the future. Hello, Arthur. Arthur's come in. Hello.
You need to name a cat Future,
Why?
just so you can say you've seen the future.
Oh,
Is this Jodie Whittaker
Trouble
retracting the whole thing around her leaving? It's a
JW.
no, I don't think she's leaving. The trouble with
That's been a rumor for a while now. I
the
don't think it's
the
going
trouble with
anywhere.
calling a cat Future, and it's the first anniversary of the first episode of Logopolis today. We're going to be looking at Logopolis in a couple of weeks. But in episode 2, there's the line, "I've just dipped into the future." You see how that might prove problematic?
I'm just saying, hey.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the plus side of, I've just seen the future. Then you've got, I've just dipped into the future, and suddenly it goes very wrong indeed. I'm just saying. Okay, let's move on, or try to, for our usual in-depth read patchy reviews of Doctor Who stuff. So now from the worlds of Doctor Who, BBC Television's Doctor Who indeed. Is this it? Yes, this is it. It's Doctor Who. I'm going to be honest with you, Brig Lover. I think you were right first time round. He'd like to be Dr. Clark Gregg. Interesting. Okay. I'll take that.
Superman's going to be the new Doctor Who.
Clark Gregg?
No, Clark.
Oh, Clark
Agent
Gregg.
Coulson.
How did you mix it?
Oh,
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
He's American.
can he bring his? Oh no, he can bring
So
that
is
flying
John
car.
Barrowman.
Bring his
No,
flying teapot.
No, he's
with him.
not. John Barrowman is Scottish, as he will tell you.
No, excuse me. As a Glaswegian, right, that's still to be genetically proven, because that man changes his bloody accent more than I change my socks. Seriously, depending who he's on Lorraine Kelly in the morning, he becomes all Glaswegian. By the afternoon, he's on bloody what's its face this morning, and he's back to being American. Yeah, I'm dubious.
Okay.
So there.
He's had a rant. Did you notice?
No, I'm just trying to get a
That's not
response.
rant.
Maybe John Barrowman will see this and come back, and then I'll go all fanboy again.
You
So
know,
I'm
we
just-
could have John Barrowman on the show to just switch accents left and
Yeah.
right.
We could interview him. Exactly. How great would that be? You ask him a question, he answers it in American. I ask him, and he does his full Glaswegian accent.
Be
That'd be
fantastic.
brilliant. John Barrowman, come on him down.
And he with all three of us,
Yeah. Oh, let's see if he does it at the English accent or the Jersey accent. Sorry.
right?
Oh, no, my
Oh.
accent is pure BBC. Sorry. Jersey
because-
accent.
I bet he
I
could
do have the Jersey accent, but I have to put it on. It sometimes comes out when I'm tired or stressed.
What is a Jersey accent? Do the Jersey accent for us, because I don't think I've ever heard that.
I'm sorry, I think this is an amusing idea.
Right?
What I'm going to look into arranging.
John Barrowman, come on the Flash and
We're
Blue
all
podcast.
for that.
That could be fun.
A great idea, Brian. Brian, smashing idea. Go forth, listener. Propagate, spread. John Barrowman, get on this show.
I will mull that because I want to do it. I'm just going to work out the best way.
challenge John Barrowman to retain his Glaswegian accent when he's getting asked questions by a Glaswegian and an American.
You know, he's on Cameo. He did a Cameo thing for a friend of mine. To her husband. You don't know what Cameo is? It's when they have a bunch of stars. You know, you can pay a certain amount of money to have a star wish you like
I've
happy
been
birthday
seeing
or
adverts
something.
for it pop up on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, her husband had John Barrowman wish her a happy anniversary.
I
And
posted one on chat. I get one done for my 50th birthday party. For my 50th birthday party. That's right. It was Sean got me one from it's I put it on the chat. I'll see if I can find it again.
Hey, sure.
It was that.
so we could
sure.
probably, you know, do a Cameo interview of John.
Welcome, Sean. Sean bought me it, and there you go. I'm going to paste it. I don't know if you can share it here or not, but it was a well-known clairvoyant called Clinton Baptiste. Actually did
I
a
saw
reading
that.
for me on Cameo. Yeah, that was for my 50th.
Nice.
I want to arrange this. The thing is, do we tell him we expect him to answer it in the different accents?
He needs to. The man's a professional. He needs to prepare himself.
Right. Okay.
The man could talk in, you know, Swedish for all we care. He can be the Swedish chef.
He's one that got away. I never did manage to interview him. No promises, but I'll reach out. Okay. And
We could get up to 5 listeners with John Barham. 5, John. Just.
We might hit double digits.
Don't be sad. No.
seriously, come on, be a bit more realistic.
No.
Okay, high singles.
High singles.
High singles.
We make up to
Oh, I'll
7.
blast the shit out of this on Facebook. I know I'll get at least 3 people for it.
Can John Barrowman keep up his Glaswegian accent when he's getting
You
bombarded
realise
by-
I'll take over the interview, don't you?
That's fine. We'll be here.
Okay. But we won't get him to be. He won't be able to switch accents if you don't say anything.
The pretext is there. It just gets him on.
Pretext is there, you know, and there's always a random chance they'll start flirting with all 3 of us at the same time.
I don't think it's that random.
I wonder if he'd understand me. If he had a proper Glaswegian accent. Not put on a proper one.
That's good.
Okay, we're going to have to get you some phrases, some well-known phrases to say.
Throw in some Glaswegian
Get
slang.
you to say it, then get him to say it.
Oh, yeah.
And if he can't, he can go in and boil his seed. Yep, absolutely. Oh, I've got opium.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Finally showed Brian Ramsey Nesbitt.
Oh, did you understand it, Brian?
He was actually
A little bit.
He was fairly clear and sober on this one.
The Brig has got a friend that stays in Maryhill in Glasgow. It's a very well-known area. ICW, it's a wrestling local organisation. It's quite big now, came out of Maryhill. And Sean's got friends in Maryhill as well. Yeah, big up the Maryhill. That's Glaswegian. Big up the Maryhill.
Big up. You're asking me to do something that is not natural to me. Hey, shall we review some Doctor Who?
Yeah, go for it. But we've got to try for the Barrowman thing. Even if you get shot down, we've got to try.
We've hit the high point of the show. Let's go downhill from here.
I think it might be.
It was 2 weeks ago I watched it.
Oh, I also have a lament to pitch. I am on my last bit of rum chata in my hot cocoa. I'm very sad.
Right. Do they not sell the ingredients on a Sunday?
They do. It's just I have to go out and get them.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to go all Judge Judy on you. I am. Quite frankly, if you can't be bothered to
do
go and
have a
get it, you
delivery
don't
service.
have the right to moan.
They do have a delivery service Monday through Saturday.
It's Sunday.
Exactly.
It would do you good. Bit of fresh air.
Oh, just while Sean is on, Sean, I'm thirsty. Can you go and get me a juice,
Please.
please? He won't do it though. I know for a fact he won't do it because he's not
Don't
here.
do
He's
it.
back at his flat. He's back at his flat in Motherwell.
15 minutes later, there's a knock at the door.
I'll pay for a taxi, Sean.
Sweetie,
I'm just gonna wait for him to text your wife to bring you a juice and have a knock at the door like in 2 seconds.
The thing is, all you'll get is this levitating juice that would just come in spookily.
tea.
So we'll have Harvey bringing in the juice.
Sweetie Gamer, that's Jess, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Jess is here. Excellent. We were just asking about you. Right.
There is tea available, Jess.
Anyway, there's a spaceship in space. Space. And, it's about to collide with a strange blue box. Luckily, a third Doctor Who, possibly, basically does a materialization flip-flop, quite frankly. And they land on the freighter, the spaceship in space. It's the third Doctor and Joe, so we love it already.
You never said that properly. The third Doctor and
Joe!
Thank you.
All right, okay. I can't do a Pertwee impersonation.
It's just it takes me back to old
Flashing Blade. I
Yeah.
do want to get us all together. I mean, obviously we won't have Ian, which is sad. But it would be nice if you get all the old hosts in one show. It would be chaotic.
That would be nice.
It would
That
be
should be.
chaotic as hell. But it would be nice. And the thing is, because Dave and Lilibet weren't actually presenters of the show, we'll leave them out just to hear Dave complain. It's worthwhile. Worth a giggle, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, it's Frontier in Space. Written by Malcolm Hulke, novelised as Doctor Who and the Space War. The novelisation basically was what got Doctor Who banned when I was a child. All the Saga books thrown away, everything gone. Yeah. So there's that. And I really enjoy this one. It's 6 episodes, and it does drag a little, certainly in the first couple of episodes. Oh, hang on. Eddie's disagreeing.
No, that's it. I'll let you carry on, but that's his favourite Doctor Who era for me.
Oh, right. Oh no, I'm with you on that. I mean, this is the Pertwee era at its most confident. Good grief!
Sure. Number 3 possibly is not approving of
The
that.
Master got a hold of the Doctor.
Yep.
He shrunk him.
And
Now he's mine.
Human
Michael-
trafficking at its finest.
And I call
you can get
Brian a
that-
prevert.
I'm looking for mini Matt Smith just to go with my. That's my 2 favourite Doctors.
Mini Matt Smith was a YouTuber. Now, he's changed his name since. I think it was called George. Lovely young lad. Anyway, sorry. What the fuck was I talking about? Frontier in Space. So it does drag a little bit in the first couple of episodes. It's a bit of toing and throwing. But then, and there's going to be spoilers here, the commissioner for Alpha Centauri turns up. And turns out, it's the Master. Hooray! Which is
No.
good. It is.
The hell you say?
I
If you
know.
take-
I know.
If you take the commissioner for Alpha Centauri and rearrange the letters, it spells the Master.
It does. It does,
does.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So, hang on. I'm
If you're
just...
dyslexic.
Oh, the capital next year. Yes, I'm looking forward to the capital next year. And the Scottish menace strikes again. Oh, come on, be fair. We only do the show once a week. You can live with that, surely. Jesus. I made myself laugh then. that's not often. Right, yeah. I love this one. Absolutely love this one. It cliffhangers into the next story, Planet of the Daleks, which we'll be doing next week. And the fact that you have the Master and the Daleks together, albeit very briefly, is... I mean, that scene in the quarry where the Doctor goes, I feel something strange. And then it's just a great scene. You know, hello, Doctor, I brought some old friends to see you. And then the Daleks appear, shot from far below. I love that scene. It's one of my favourites, quite frankly. I've got nothing bad to say about Space Museum, apart from it can seem padded. They had the same trick with the Doctor in space, trying to fix the spaceship twice. So, but aside from that, yeah, it's good. And the book, I'm not going to say it was worth having Doctor Who banned, but it's a good book. There you go. Brian?
I liked it. I'll
there
agree.
we go.
A little bit padded. Having the Master in it. It was Delgado. Come on.
Damn straight. We'll mention something that is obligatory in any review of Frontier in Space afterwards, if I remember. Keep going.
Yeah, it was fine. It showed interplanetary politics being mucked up by the Master. I love the whole, are you a dragon? You know.
Do you not think there was a certain resemblance to current day events where you've got the two superpowers vying against each other?
Always going to be something like that, because there's always going to be two assholes vying against each other in politics.
That's very true,
I
unfortunately.
mean, that's going to be universal for any story
And
based on it.
And do you think Jan Michael Straczynski of Babylon 5, and I hope I pronounced his name right, do you think he saw this? Do you think he saw this because the war got started?
Narnia Centauri?
Sorry,
no, I'm on season 2.
The start of the Earth Minbari War.
Okay. All
where basically the Minbari turned up with open gun ports. As
and they were fired upon.
And it was the same in Frontier in Space. The Draconians turned up with open gun ports, and...
Well, they also did a retcon later on in the seasons where it was Michael York, I believe, who was the gunner on that ship.
Yeah, the one who opened fire.
Opened fire.
Yeah. I do like that.
It would have been nice if Michael York had been in this Doctor Who episode. Then we could tie everything together.
Well, hang on. There's that clip of him opening fire, which they cut out and reused in the beginning. Was it called the first one?
Possible.
With
the movie or the season?
It was, well, essentially a movie, wasn't it? It was one of the first specials. It was dear. It's Londo talking to some kids about how it all kicked off.
Yes.
Yeah. I got there eventually. Wow. Goodness me. So anyway, I liked it. Brian, did you enjoy this?
I liked it. I loved it.
Can't get better praise than that, to be honest with you. Eddie?
I liked it too. I think this is epic Doctor Who. It's special. You've got the Draconians, and you've got the Ogrons. Of course, struggle with that with the tongue. The makeup for the Draconians in particular, that could hold up today. I read somewhere, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because this is from memory, because probably an old Doctor Who magazine.
2 seconds. We need to say goodbye to Brig Lover.
Oh, bye, Brig.
Take care, love. All right. Sorry, Eddie. Carry on.
I'm sure I read somewhere that the Draconians were a personal favourite of
Pertwee,
because the makeup was such that it was really good and convincing, but you could still see facial expressions and they could act and emote.
The half mask. That's what you're after.
Yeah.
The half mask. John Friedlander was the sculptor for that.
That still holds up. The Ogrons. So you get the Draconians, the Ogrons, the Master, and I'll get it ready just in case. Right, Wisher's Daleks. I like them, but they're not the best incarnation of the Daleks. I know Wisher was the first Davros, great, but I don't know. There's something that just not seems to be quite missing from Wisher's Dalek voice.
You may put your hat down,
Oh, good.
for I feel this way too.
Good. So it's not just me, because I don't know. It seems a bit subdued, and it's not manic enough. It's not. It's just too played.
Well,
his head back or something.
in the next story, his Dalek voice, for a start, they'd already changed the ring modulator settings again between stories. But it's a bit harsher, and he and Roy Skelton are trying to match each other.
So he's got a bit of competition going to try and.
I don't know if it's competition, but it does make the Wisher voice sound a lot better. And then it's back to Death to the Daleks when they got it wrong again. So, yeah, there we go.
Something to again. This you mentioned padding, but there's a lot of skullduggery, tomfoolery. It's like back and forth. I've been writing these down as I come across them, because I know you liked it the last time. But it's play off against the Master, and I know there's a bit in the spaceship where it's just a case of Joe's talking and Gertrude's trying to get outside.
That is lovely.
Yeah. And then there's the meteor shower. It's slow paced, but there's things happening. There's things to keep you going. The whole thing around it's like the Draconians and the Earth, the humans being played off against each other. Absolutely, we still have that today. There's the bit in terms of where it kind of diverges slightly, and we've got the Doctor in jail, and I'm trying to think. There's a it's like he's in the super jail, and it's inescapable, and I mean that's been ripped off so much by films. There's one with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there was one from. Plan. Yeah, they've ripped that off to bits, as well as the Babylon 5 reference earlier on.
Yeah.
This is, for me, it's just this is quintessential Pertwee. It's epic. It's multiple villains. It's just glorious. For me, this is one of the pinnacle eras of Doctor Who, and I know you're watching Barrowman, and I know you're working with Chibnall. Tell Chibnall to go back and watch this. This is how Doctor Who should be done. Please, thank you. Mic drop. Enough said.
Okay. Right. So I liked it.
I've not spoke for 2 weeks, so
I'm gathering this. Yes, there's a lot building up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
Quick reminder to people on YouTube. Week before last show is up there. That's the interview with Toby Haydock. What a lovely man he was. Well, he is, but I'm talking about them. Yes, lovely guy. So there's
he didn't call us idiots or anything. I was amazed.
He didn't what? Sorry, love.
He didn't call us idiots or anything. That was.
He's
amazing.
too polite. He's too much of a gentleman.
Yeah.
He's got an obsession with pocket squares. I'm listening to his podcasts, and every now and again he starts talking about pocket squares that characters are wearing. Odd.
Pocket square?
It's the hanky you have in the pocket.
Oh, right.
That's in a suit. No, forget it. Concept does not compute.
A suit? No. Suit. That's a card. You get in card games. You have a suit in poker and stuff like that. You're
like
getting
a club or spade or hearts.
That's a suit of cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ask for this, don't I? I really do.
Every week.
Dear. So anyway, that was Doctor on the telly. Next week, Planet of the Daleks. One thing we've got to quickly mention is the fact that this is Delgado's last turn. And the ending was completely fucked up in the way they shot it. I think the last thing you see is Pertwee's leg kicking the blaster out of the Master's hand, and that's it.
So sad.
It's sad he's died, and it's sad that he didn't get a proper send-off. Because there was going to be... Planet of the Spiders was going to be the Master instead of Lupton. In fact, the whole story may have ended up differently. But it would be left ambiguous if the Master had actually sacrificed himself to save the Doctor. You know, so and that would have been his big send-off. But God, could you imagine if that actually happened? The difference in the Master. I mean, I suppose they could have brought him back for Deadly Assassin or Crispy after whatever happened.
Would have explained more.
But if I'm honest with you, I still think Lupton's a damn fine villain in Planet of the Spiders. And Tommy's one of the best performances ever, quite frankly. Anyway, sorry. Yes, we did listening as well. Well, sort of. Right, I think we're going to be able to cover this. We're going to wait and see. Eddie, did you listen to both the audios?
I listened to the Primeval Design, so I listened to the second one.
Okay.
We split them.
And you listened to Thaddeus Nook, did you?
I listened to Thaddeus Nook.
As indeed did I. So Eddie's going to have to be on his own talking about the Primeval thing.
Well, the shame would be if Dominic was here, he could do the Primeval Design with Eddie, and we could do the Thaddeus Nook.
Ah. Anyway, a fourth Doctor Who. Clever Lupton. A fourth Doctor Who and his plucky girl assistant, Leela. This is round about series 14, before K9 turns up. And it's the old wooden control room, in case people need it placed. I don't know. Anyway, yes, so, something happens. Oh, that's right. They've landed somewhere, and it's not the best of places. I can't remember where it was they landed. But it turns out they've caught themselves some time-travelling tourists. And in fact, it's run by a guy called Thaddeus Nook. Great name. Absolutely great. You can imagine Tom's delight with that name. And it goes a bit... The Doctor tries to shut him down, but it's a bit of a... It's a bit of a chase, to be honest with you. And then things get a bit cocked up because a couple of the passengers that Thaddeus Nook has on his ship are extremists for... I can't remember, was it General Clegg, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
were there to reverse his downfall.
Yeah, they wanted to go to the day he died, Triumph Day, and they were going to basically stop it all happening. And this is a fun one. It is just a romp, though Tom is very angry in it. It's as if he's taken what's happening as a personal affront. So he does shoutiness at people. Which,
well, yeah, that's because the Doctor's the one who goes through time and interferes with things, not tourists.
There is
These
a
tourists
certain
are going
hypocrisy
to-
there, isn't there?
Yeah, they're going to, interstellar atrocities just to view them and be part of it. In Triumph Day being the last one, the extremists come out and they're trying to save the general. No, not exactly. But in the meantime, he finds out that Leela... I don't know. Can we do spoilers on this one?
No, I wouldn't. It's still fairly new.
Okay. All right. So, fortunately, everything turns out well.
Great. And indeed it does, which is nice. This is a fun one. Like I say, it's frothy. There's nothing too serious about it. Like I say, Tom's in a bit of a bad mood, but I think that's Tom as the Doctor rather than Tom in the studio. Somehow.
Yeah, that was definitely the Doctor being ticked off.
Put that one.
Besides, they're
to
using
rest.
second-rate time travels.
Yes, one that's been banned.
Yeah. No, you
Because
don't
they
do that.
basically, the creatures that invented it, they invented it before space travel.
Yeah,
and they used
that
it.
screwed up the entire thing.
Well,
timeline.
not that bit. It's the fact that they kept going back in time and screwing with the timeline to the point they nearly wrote themselves out of existence. So the Time Lords had to step in and basically.
Which would just make you wonder how Tom would feel about the wristband for the time agents.
Good point.
Well, the
Because
thing is,
I would love to see a Tom Baker, John Barrowman
You can suggest that to him and interview him.
That would be fantastic.
But the thing is, Rivers has got one of those, and Tom has met River. I don't know why I'm doing this. So I don't know. I genuinely couldn't answer that. Because the Time Agency is a post-Time War thing. So, don't know. I'm sure Big Finish will do it at some stage.
So it could be ever present.
Let's
It's like the TVA.
the Time Variance Authority. Oh, yes, we're talking about them before much longer, won't we?
Yeah, they're coming.
Walt Simpson's rip-off of the Time Lords. It's essentially what it is.
They're the ones who created Polybius.
And
It's a video game.
And use Death's Head as an agent. I wonder if we'll get Death's Head in Loki.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That'll never happen, but that would be awesome.
Oh, I wish it did. I'd love to see Death's Head in the MCU, yes. It'd just be...
And we have only one more week left of WandaVision.
Yes!
And this week was good.
The question is, it seems like there's too much for them to address in one more episode.
Well, that's because she's supposed to be appearing in
Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
But there's going to be leftover threads for the second season, I'm guessing.
Possibly, yeah.
Because they can't have the same thing with her.
I don't know if there's going to be a second season. It might be a one and done.
I thought there was going to be a second season.
Well, this is Marvel. They can do whatever the hell they want, and we'll just lap it up.
That is true.
I mean, did you see the post credit scene for this one?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay.
That was a bit of a West Coast Avengers surprise.
Yes.
Right. Okay. We'll say no more. But yes, looking forward to the next episode. So did we, Eddie? You need to do your review of Doctor Who and the Primeval.
Here goes. So I did watch the Primeval design. So it's a good one. But there's elements that I struggled with. But I'll get to that. But just to keep it absolutely clear, it's a great story. It's around. There seems to be a formula to a lot of the stories in Big Finish are doing just now, and the message is correct. So I'm not being critical of that as well. There's a female protagonist, so it's a paleontologist called Mary Anning who did exist in the 1700s. She is now being discovered as and credited for a lot of this. It's the Primeval Coast, Dorset, the Cornwall area. She discovered a lot of fossils, made a lot of major discoveries. The credit for those were stolen by male colleagues, peers, whatever at the time, and obviously the sexism is in place. So it was a case. It's now in later years it's become clear that she doesn't get credit for a lot of the things out there in terms of discoveries around fossils and dinosaurs. So that this story primarily wants to address that. So really good, solid message. But there's a lot of that kind of coming out in our recent Big Finishes of late. So it's a great story, great message, but they've done it before. So it is pretty formulaic. That said, it's a fourth Doctor and it's Layla. Layla is absolutely fantastic in this. Layla is written in terms of she's brave, she's bold, she takes charge. There's a side story. There's a side story.
Writing. They've really gotten the right writing for Leela.
And Louise Jameson knows that character inside and out. There's a side story in terms of there's one of the maids is pregnant and it's her heartless boyfriend trying to save her, and Leela just takes charge and just basically saves the day. So this is pretty much Leela front and centre. Tom's Doctor, great as always, but there's just, and again, I'm not going to spoil it, there's the clear message in this, and some of the way this is scripted, and some of the things that Tom's Doctor says in this, for me personally, doesn't sound like the Fourth Doctor. He's very serious, he's very message driven, but the kind of there's a lack of the humour that the Fourth Doctor would have injected alongside this. So again, this is just my personal opinion. But it's a great story. There's long and short of it, there is a series of murders taking place. The claw
Murders?
marks, animal prints that are into murder. It's been
Aye.
there. Is that there's that this is not a creature that they can actually trace down, and there's this thread in terms of, is this a fake and is this somebody trying to face it? There's a off-worldly element to this. It involves aliens, it involves dinosaurs, so it is a good rip-roaring romp. Good message there as well. Louise, brilliant. Tom, great as always, although again it was taken out of it on a few occasions. Just the way it was scripted and what Tom was saying just didn't come across as being the Fourth Doctor. That said though, but sounds of it, with Thaddeus Nuke in this, it sounds like a great wee box set. I'll probably, after what you have said, I'll probably go back now and listen to Thaddeus Nuke this week, because that sounds as though worth a listen, so I definitely will.
So are we thumbs up? Are we thumbs up-sing?
Yes.
What? Thumbs up. I don't know. Oh yes. Thank you very much. This is Mosh, aka Mosh Moggy Moo Mew. He's my portable sound generating system. He's a meower. He talks all the time, except hopefully not right now. But yes, he's my Mog. He sleeps with me every night. Got the dog on one side. I got him on the other, and Chestnut trying to fit in somewhere. Trouble is, Chestnut gets overexcited and starts to claw and bite.
Oh.
And it's a case of, no, we're not. He's got a thing about my nose. He wants to bite my nose. He's a strange cat. That's the black
Got
fluffy
your
one.
nose? Got your nose? Is it a cat version of it you actually have?
I think,
got your nose?
yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the black fluffy one you've seen a few times.
The one behind you now.
No, that's Mosh.
No. On the chair.
Ah, yes. Jesus.
And there's the other one.
That's Chestnut, and frankly, I'm wondering what he's planning.
Oh, it's pretty cool. His eyes are kind of glowing on the camera. That's
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to swallow your soul.
Basement cat has come. I love my pets. I'm so lucky. I really am just so lucky. Right. Next week, we're changing subjects. Unless something really super duper comes out, we're going to listen to Space 1999 Volume 1.
Oh, please.
And now this, the thing is, they have done one before which actually dealt with the moon breaking orbit. And this is that. I think that must have been a testing the water thing.
Breakaway, they did,
yeah.
Which
And so
Does this one
is
hatch?
sorry.
Does this moon hatch?
I'm gonna say no, but I'm gonna qualify it with this is Big Finish. Fuck knows. Yeah. So this is, if you like, you had the pilot. This is the first series, the first box sets. So the moon's already out there. It's already been nicked. Koenig.
Not just any moon. The Earth moon. Okay.
Well, that's why the egg got put there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is to basically take the moon's place after Koenig had nicked it. Grand Theft Luna. That's what that was. Grand Theft Luna. I've got no sympathy to the buggers. Sorry. In the Space Goat, I was actually going. Part of the setup was there was going to be a load of moon bases, all referencing other TV shows with moon bases on them.
Redox, it's called Thundar the Barbarian.
Interesting. Okay. That is interesting. And I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so they're going to have all the different bases, like the Shade moon base instead of the Shadow moon base. You know, the Zeta moon base instead of the Alpha moon base. And, you know, moon base 52 instead of moon base 3. All the different bases. Yeah, and Koenig was working to steal the moon. He wouldn't have been called Koenig in it. And the first thing we had was the first story up on the moon was set probably on that moon base where I better quickly explain. I'm talking about the Adventures of the Space Goat proposed audio series. and the thing was,
Wait, was it Space Ghost?
No. Space goat, it's a goat in space. Space goat, it's a goat in space. Goat. Joe wrote that. Brilliant.
I performed it as well, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. I also did an a cappella version where I layered all the various vocals. The trouble is, it was me singing, so oh dear. Yeah, and the first time they were trying to sort out something to do with vampires. It goes back to my whole thing of, hang on a second, how come moonlight doesn't kill vampires? Because it's reflected sunlight.
Sunlight? Yep.
It's reflected. It's not direct.
Should slow them down a bit then, or it should.
Maybe it does. Maybe you don't know about it. Maybe they're actually more powerful than you ever thought of, but they're held in check because of reflected sunlight. I have not picked up the Devil's Stinger and brought it over. That would require me leaving the show for a second and going to get him.
Leaving the show? You sure?
No, just walking around to the front.
Okay.
You don't have to be that excited about it.
Have you got a sword then?
I have a new robot.
If you want to show it, we can do show and tell.
Give me a minute.
Okay, I'm not. You don't have to. I feel bad now. I'm saying that whilst he can't hear me, of course. That's the important part. He's got
All
to
the
do
stuff that happened behind his curtains.
I know. Looks like the real world's trying to break in.
We need to stop that for him.
That's not good. Perhaps I'll put my thumb over it.
it's
I've got my thumb over
chair.
it on the screen. I can't see it. It's not there.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
What the actual fuck? He's going to have to watch this bit back for that reaction.
Like, can you convert it into the car that it becomes? We've got. How long does it take?
Quite fit all on camera.
You surprise me, really.
What?
Convert to what is it? Is it a car?
Into a Scorpion and a battle station. And I'm not doing that here because that'll take me for freaking ever. He sits up on our dinner table because I need to get 2 more bookcases.
Hang on, we've got a difference of opinion here. You see, Jess says it becomes a temple.
The temple is the same thing as the battle station.
Right?
But this
Okay.
does come off. It
It's
is
a
his
lollipop.
mighty stinger.
His mighty
That
spear.
becomes a spear.
Okay.
Big. I know.
We've got to have an intervention at some stage.
Can't criticise. I'm a grown man sitting with a Percy the Tank Engine T-shirt on, so I'm not going to criticise somebody for playing with the robots. No.
I'll just move him over here. He's a little heavy.
I stopped buying things like that. The last purchase was the custom TARDIS because I could get it.
The whole...
That's a transformer and a half. I'm impressed.
It's not a natural beastie.
No. That is a actually third party transformer.
Has it been seen? Or is it one they've just made up?
Oh no, it's been seen. It's based off of the Japanese Black Zarek model from one of the Transformers animated ones that only was shown over there.
That one.
It's based off of the Scorponok mold.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes, I know. This is an entirely different dialect of geek.
Yeah, I'm. It's like Jersey. Jersey has its own. Oh, it's dying out, unfortunately. It has its own patois. It's French. Its own version of French.
Things get his own bloody postcode. Is that big?
Yes. It's about 14 inches tall, 24 with the tail.
Quite
I need
posh.
a case. I can't fit it anywhere. It currently sits on our dining table on top of a Lazy Susan, so I can spin it around.
Okay, for everybody else, Redux the Green just downloaded the Japanese version of Samurai Pizza Cats.
There you go.
Yeah,
Samurai
that's-
Pizza Cats is awesome.
Haven't heard of that for ages.
I'm going to get this Jersey thing out, you know that.
You have your own dialect of French.
They have their own dialect of French. But if you consider Jersey as the nerd world, do you see what I mean? Do you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Jersey split into 12 parishes, St. Save, St. Helier, Trinity, etc. And in each of those different parishes, there is a different dialect to the French. So somebody coming from St. Saviour's to Grouville would say something and it would have a completely different meaning, just in that tiny little island. So that's essentially what nerd culture is. We all sort of speak the same language, but most of the time we don't follow each other. And Brian's microphone's suddenly dead.
No, it's not
you,
that.
you just said no. Ooh. Trying to confuse an old woman. Yes.
I'm adjusting his claws because they are large and mighty. And detachable.
It's not MechQuake, though. MechQuake
I can take them off and he has little robot hands, but they're little and these claws are big.
Okay. Good.
Big claws. It's a thing.
It's the moon in the sky.
Is it the
Oh,
Earth
the moon in the
moon?
sky. Hang on, where are we? 2020. Oh, no, that's the egg. forgot that.
Oh, thank God.
I haven't seen the moon
So
in
let's crack
ages.
it open and make an omelet.
It's because
We
I've
can
not been
feed the
outside.
world.
I haven't seen the moon. Oh, that's lovely. I love moonlight. Absolutely adore moonlight. I'd be
So
quite happy.
you're not a vampire is what you're saying.
Probably not.
Are you sure?
Well, I hate looking at myself in the mirror. Does that count?
Is there a compulsion to howl?
To what?
Howl?
How?
If you like the moon.
How?
Yes.
You
How?
howl at the moon.
Sorry,
Yes.
we had a slight Caledonian translation problem there. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm ashamed of myself.
What
Yeah.
the fuck were you talking about?
I don't know. It really is. You can tell we haven't had a chat for 2 weeks.
Everything is just coming out.
We just finished Big Finish and we were talking about
Yes,
Space
so we're gonna
1999,
look
which
at
we're doing
that,
next
yes.
week.
Volume 1 of it's new Space 1999. A whole new cast.
It's the guy who plays Callan's Koenig, isn't it? I think.
I don't think that it's Mark Bonner who plays the 11 in Doctor Who.
Oh, does he not play the Callan as well? Or am I getting them mixed up with somebody else? I'll probably.
I can't remember, love. I really can't.
Doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to it. I love Space 1999, and I hope it's a season 1 theme tune that they use.
It is,
Really?
though it's
good.
their own version, which I enjoy it because it's a good piece of music, but it's not Barry Gray. He takes slightly different choices in how he arranges it, and it's just
Sci-Fi
no. I'm
channel
too
over here
used
called
to
Comet
this,
is on.
so hearing that just knocks me slightly. It's a bit like listening to David Bradley as the Doctor. You know, I'm so used to Hartnell. Hearing him do it just takes me out of it.
It's because we know somebody else that does it is equally as good
We
as
know
Hartnell
someone
as
who does
David
it
Bradley.
way better than David
Yeah.
Bradley.
John Guyler's very good. Anyway, yes. Now, I was going to start this next section with a reading. A reading, indeed. Yes,
Reading.
from No Future, A Virgin New Adventure by Paul Cornell, where basically they end up in the media sphere. And there's a whole chapter of 70s television, different programs. Obviously not quite named as such, just to be on the safe side. And part of it is a bunch of very serious-looking teenagers standing in a darkened lab, one of which, I think, if I've got this right, is wearing something inappropriate, and the most serious one, John, starts telling him off. Yeah. I don't know really what... It would have been better if I'd have read that. Why I told you about it, I have no idea at all. Mike's got into the Nazis.
I don't think we'll see this episode on BritBox. I'd be very surprised if we do.
I just can't talk about this one.
I can. I have something to say about it.
Okay.
Because the end reveal, they bring back Hitler, okay?
Yeah, Michael Shard. Michael
They
Shard.
bring back Hitler.
Hitler.
However, Hitler is an alien serial
course.
killer.
Of course.
So I don't like that fact. I don't like that.
No, I don't like that fact. It almost gives
Well,
him an
mainly
excuse.
Yes, exactly. It gives him an excuse. He's not a human. He's not a human psychopathic asshole. He's some alien.
Yeah, I
and
don't like that. You're quite right.
And that gives everybody an out for World War II.
Yeah,
No,
you're quite right,
Keep him
Brian.
a human and keep it like that. That's one of the few things I don't like.
Don't dilute his
Or
evil.
one of the many things I don't like.
So that
And
was the
John-
Tomorrow People.
John knows Tomorrow People judo.
Oh, there's Tomorrow People Judo.
I don't know what he did, but he threw that little Nazi wannabe bastard across the bar. So
You can learn Tomorrow People Judo in next week's edition of Look-In magazine. Oh, it was great, Brian. We had Look-In magazine. It had comic strips and whatever for your telly favourites on ITV and some pop stars and whatever. And
You could save up vouchers as well.
Was that anything like Tiger Beat?
sorry,
Yeah. It was, yeah. Oh, sorry, Siobhan, I interrupted. Sorry, I'll shut.
no. You spoke over each other, so I don't know what either of you said.
oh,
Tiger Beat magazine, I think was with the TV. It's more like a junior TV guide. So with the TV times, and Look-In was the junior TV times.
I
okay.
think you could be right there.
Tiger Beat was more of the, hey, look, these are the teens you want to read about. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, there's not that too.
Oh, I don't know. What was his name? It would have Donny Osmond on the front, maybe, or what? Why am I doing that? Or whatever. But the
Bay City Rollers. The Bay City Rollers were in
yes.
front as well, yeah.
But they did have some really good comic strips. Sapphire and Steel, The Tomorrow People, Space 1999, even. So, Dragon's Domain still scares me at Space 1999, if I'm honest with you.
I don't blame you. That's still vividly. That was put on at Saturday tea time,
Yeah,
and that kind of creature thing. Oh, it's horrible.
Even, I've got the Blu-ray now, so it's all in crisp high definition and whatever. And there's still something about it. Definitely. I was terrified when I was a kid.
Space 1999 reminds me how stupid I was as a kid. There was a local shop called the Looking Glass, and I would go there and I would buy I get my pocket money and I'd buy a single, or I would buy they did the Star Wars action figures, used to be tiny ones, I'd save up. They had the Miko Space 1999 figures, and something stupid at the time. They were giving them away. And I thought, Space 1999 figures, I'm not buying them. They're worth a fortune now. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot.
I used to have the ship, the actual ship.
The Eagle.
They had the detachable. The Eagle.
the Eagle?
That had the detachable front half and
Yeah.
the engines, and you could put those two together. And, yeah.
Now, I had a green Eagle, because that was the colour Dinky was selling. I had a green Eagle transporter, or a white or blue Eagle freighter, which had a spinny thing on with radioactive material and a magnet on a string from Breakaway, basically. We've really diverged.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. But
so-
then again, we're talking about the Mike era of Tomorrow People, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's... Has anybody got anything else they want to say about it?
Well, I've got a couple of things, right?
Okay.
So what the fuckity fuck were they thinking when they made this? Seriously, even this is closer. This is a generation that were closer to the war. We've got kids dressing as Nazis and just hail Hitler and all over the shop. We're adding an excuse to the whole World War II, like he's heard about it, where Hitler wasn't a bad human being or a psychotic human being. No. He was a shape-shifting biscuit with jam on it with a glass eye. One of the worst special effects ever. Sean, I showed Sean clips of this, and Sean, the guy who plays Mike, right? Sean watched them and has watched them very closely. And try this at home, kids. So the guy who played Mike was his real name. It was Sean says, "Watch this." So he says his lines, and he says them like deadpan, and then the person responding to him, he switches off. It's like, "Right, I've done my bit now," and it was like he's probably thinking, "What am I going to get for dinner? Oh, got to play the band tonight. I've got to." He can only do his bit. He doesn't get involved. He doesn't engage in his character or with the other characters. And once you see that, you can't forget it. He does it all the bloody time. Nicholas Lyndhurst, what the fuck? What were you thinking in doing this? The guy who plays Mr. Ronson in Grange Hill?
Bronson.
Seriously?
You boy!
Bronson? Yeah. Hitler is a shape-shifting cream cracker. That it's just badly acted, badly written, and bad taste. But we've got kids dressing up as SS officers, and there's an elderly guy who's serving them in a cafe, probably fought in the war or knew people in the war. Kids today. It's inexcusable.
It was a response.
Absolutely inexcusable.
It was a response to certain trends that were happening. Was it the skinheads?
The punk and skinheads, yeah, probably.
And as we'll see with the bubble skin jumpsuit stuff, that's a case of taking something that was just fairly new, the PVC trousers and whatever, that punk war, and turning it into something scary, supposedly.
I'm somebody that watched Jojo Rabbit recently and thought that was just too. The whole thing about Hitler being an imaginary friend, and it was like, no. I just thought that was in poor taste as well. This takes that and multiplies it by a factor of 10.
What about Let's Kill Hitler?
I don't know. Not one of my favourite Doctor Who.
I howled at the end of Good Man Goes to War.
I, however, did enjoy
Let's
Rory
Kill
punching
Hitler. I just
Hitler
pissed myself.
and sticking him in the cupboard. That was actually really nice.
Anything that pokes fun at Hitler, I mean, like the Great Dictator and stuff like that, okay. But this doesn't. This makes excuses for World War II.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. That's
the big takeaway. Quite frankly.
And if we go back to the whole Mike era, so Mike, through his carelessness and risk taking, was responsible for that girl getting killed horrifically.
Hang on a second. Sean McKenna's going to start sending us death threats. He feels very Monty Python Life of Brian about our opinion.
Oh no, he's not. He's getting to me because he knows I don't.
Oh no, it's Jojo Rabbit.
Oh right, okay, right. Thank you. Good.
And you know what? Sean is absolutely entitled, and I respect him for having his opinion. It's just wrong. So anyway,
you brought him up.
Oh no, his mother brought him up. I was a bad father.
So basically, an absent mother and father.
You can contradict that statement, Sean, if you want. Please feel free to contradict that I'm a bad dad statement. We're waiting.
I can't stand the tension, quite frankly.
No, the fact that he's not writing anything, that's me. That's what I would
do. You see? Aha.
Bravo.
You might think that he can't possibly comment.
Young Padawan, absolutely brilliant. So Mike makes a major risk taking this in terms of he's going to show Hitler to the entire world through a broadcast, which could actually awaken a gene that makes us all, my generation, your generation, Siobhan, Nazis. In the hope that just the fact that he'll show a biscuit with some jam dripping and a glass eye falling down will repulse people enough that they will reject the gene that will make us all Nazis. He's an arse. So no, this era has killed the Tomorrow People. This season has killed the Tomorrow People.
Oh yeah, yeah. The minute they brought Mike in, it was.
So I have to ask, do you wish to continue?
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Fucking hell! You sat there. You just gone. It's ruined. It's ruined.
I'm Scottish and I like a moon.
This is torture. We'll do it.
Oh no. See, I mean, did Boys from Brazil come out around about this time?
Somebody
Did
say
Roger Price see Boys from Brazil and think, right, fine, how am I going to get out of this contract with Thames TV? Let's do a World War II themed teenagers and Nazis. They'll sack me after this. No, they gave him another season. Oh, well, 70s were
Two more
born.
seasons.
2 more seasons after this.
2 more seasons.
Hello,
I mean,
Cyberlord
granted, it's only
102.
like 6 episodes total for 2 seasons.
Oh, I OCD completely. I've got to complete. I've got to do. I've got to go. It's like
Hang on a
there
second.
can't be anything as bad as this, though. Surely going forward, there can't be anything as poor taste as this.
Not in poor taste. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, there we go. So I'm happy to continue.
Cyberlord 102 wants to know: did he miss anything, or did she miss anything? Well, they. We're gonna have to recap the show.
Right, let's go back then. Okay, start the credits.
We have to talk over the credits.
You did that magnificently, yes.
Thank you,
Over the
thank you.
Doctor Who one, I think. Yeah. No, you haven't missed anything at all. I'm gonna be honest.
Frontier in Space was good. The big finishes were good. Hitler's Last Secret. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuckity fuck?
Hang on.
Yeah.
There you go. A Cyberman for you, Cyberlord.
Look, it's handles.
It's not quite big enough. I do actually have a Cyberman voice changer somewhere. Doesn't work very well nowadays.
Sean, I'm still waiting. I'm not accepting this no comment nonsense. Come on, stick up for your father. If he writes anything, I'll be disappointed.
Hey, we've still got to do Blake 7.
But how
Well,
can we
let's-
top Lake 7 after the Tomorrow People?
We can try. Anyway,
So let's yeah.
the first Travers has a cunning plan. You see, the first Blake, and I use that term quite literally, actually, is going to meet a rebellion leader called Avalon. It's a very cold planet, very cold indeed. However, Travers finds out about this and kills everyone. And
A cold planet. Did you see what Avalon was wearing? Can't be that cold.
it would indeed.
I know, right? Did you see that the vampire chick wasn't wearing one of those fur coats?
I did notice, but mutos aren't. They're very nice with a drop of milk and sugar in the morning.
Are they not like living corpses? They're like zombies, are they not? They're kind of like dead and
Yeah,
then
it seems
reanimated.
like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Travers has come up with a plan because, of course, everyone's after the Liberator. Kill Blake, but we need the Liberator. You can't destroy the Liberator, which ties Travis's hands a little bit. So he comes up with a cunning plan where he's going to they're going to have an android duplicate of Avalon, and on top of that, she's going to be taken aboard the Liberator, and she's going to release a new virus that basically kills everything and then dies itself. So it leaves the place absolutely clean for whoever wants to come in and take the ship.
And he tests it.
He does test it. Ooh, that was a bit
And a
nasty.
guy who very calmly sits there.
That's true. Yes.
Abnormally
Frankly.
calmly.
Yes.
Like he's welcoming death compared
He's a
to...
prisoner of the Federation, so he's either tranked up to the eyeballs or... Anyway, Project Avalon. We'll head to we'll head to Eddie first. Sorry, Bri. I'm waiting for your Paul Darrow's report. But Eddie, what do you make of this one?
It's good. This is cleansed the palate for that crap that we just watched. That was called the Tomorrow People. This is Travis setting bait in the form of this Avalon, this rebel leader, knowing that Blake will come and she's captured, and he sets her as the bait. And then we've got androids covering for posing as Avalon, and it's the whole thing. They break in, they get her out, but Blake knows that it was too easy. It was far too easy. They get shot and they're getting stunned by Federation killer elite forces. He puts two and two together, turns it around. The mouse becomes the cat and turns it all around. Avon, again, would they have been able to do anything with the Avon? Because Avon's the one that comes in, reprograms the androids, basic functionality, but without him, Blake's plan would never have worked. So big up to Avon. I'm just an Avon fanboy now. Avon's just fantastic. And then Servalan. Servalan is incredible in this because it's the whole thing around. If this works, she takes all the credit because she brought Travis back, and Travis is working for her. If this all goes wrong, it's Travis's fault. Travis takes the can for it, which is exactly what happens. Jacqueline Pierce is incredibly just devious, sneaky, two-faced, conniving. Love it. This is just perfect. Yeah. Blake 7. Can't fault it.
I was going to say it is stock Blake 7. Quite frankly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Quintessential.
This is
quintessential. I like that. Yes.
That's another big word.
Yep. We're doing well with those tonight. I've no idea if we've been
using them
properly.
You are. You're spelling out all these big words.
I've learnt 5 new words today. That's great.
Shit, you can sell me to the Reader's Digest. Increase your word power. Now I've said it online, I'm going to start getting loads of leaflets for it. You do not unsubscribe from Reader's Digest.
No, never. No, you don't. Ever.
My stepfather used to get them.
My dad used to get them.
Hello, Chestnut. We were talking about you. Oh, yes, you were basically lording it over me, weren't you? Hello. Come on. I'm going to regret this. Come up here. Come up here.
Chestnut, destroyer of souls.
There we go. Have his ass. I love the smell of cats when they've just come in. They smell so fresh. It's lovely. I mean, I don't grab them and go, I guess you picked the wrong week to give up cat sniffing.
Do you have a cat flap for the cat?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am, and don't call me Shirley. It's a hospital. What is it? Sorry, we can go through airplane lines left, right, and centre. Do you know we've been going for an hour and a half, and we've still not really got anywhere?
Oh, we went through everything. Well,
just 2 weeks. Come on.
Anyway, Brian, talk to me about Blake 7.
What more can I say about Blake 7? Eddie has done a perfect job with this.
You lazy bugger.
He's just saying that because he doesn't want to. Absolutely.
I loved it. The only thing I have to say is Travis, doesn't he have a robot arm?
Yes.
He does.
Didn't he have 2 real hands when he grabbed the thingamabob with the virus? The little glass bead with the virus?
Oh, no. I'm going to have to go back and check now.
The droid dropped it, and he dove, and I think he had 2 human hands.
That's a great continuity error then. Well spotted.
I just think he did. I'm not... But the vial would have broken on a robot hand. So, there's that. And, yeah, for a cold planet, Avalon was really dressed for the tropics.
2 conveniently placed pieces of tinfoil.
Yeah. The girl looks good in tinfoil.
Yeah. I wonder if was it Jean-Luc Besson watched that episode for the Fifth Element.
Oh, I like the Fifth Element. That's a good film.
That was a good film.
I think I've got Basil Brush next to me.
Blake 7 too, or not Blake 7. Logan's Run.
I see.
Had very similar costuming.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say something, but all I can see is this tail flapping. Dear me. What's next week's one? That was Project Avalon. Oh, I think it's the one with Gan. Breakdown. The one where Gan goes loopy loony.
Breakdown.
Yeah.
Right there.
Breakdown, Bounty, Deliverance, and then Aurak.
Can I just add as well done to BritBox for taking away that annoying piece of... No, that bit where you'd pause it and you'd go back in and then the ident would come back up. And you would be forced to see the ident every time you paused it and came back away. They've done away with it. And when they jump it, go into the next episode, they don't do that anymore. So, big thumbs up.
You see, I use the phone app and stream it across to the telly.
It's still not on American.
They still... It's coming, Brian. They do away with it. It's so bloody
Okay,
annoying.
I have a 500 gig hard drive, and I bring it to work with me.
Oh dear, down and safe. So, so it's Breakdown next week, along
What
with...
tomorrow, people, are we doing?
that's tomorrow. Yeah, what's the name of the next one?
Thargon Menace.
Oh, shit.
Say that again. The
Thargon
Mussolini Menace. Thargon.
Thargon Menace to our sanity.
I'm going to have to watch this one. I didn't watch the last one. I just couldn't face it.
You made the right decision.
It's a Thargon Menace to society.
Yeah, because the Thargons come back. So...
Yeah,
so I suppose
don't worry,
I should
it's
watch
only
it.
2 episodes. Like anything, Mike can't really be bothered to memorize lines for more than 2 episodes.
We're really harsh about him, to be fair.
Seriously,
Yeah.
watch out for him. Watch
have you
him say his lines and then he switches off. It's like he only engages for his lines.
I mean, I
Have
follow
you
him on
watched
Twitter,
it?
and I'm feeling guilty following him on Twitter. Bad people,
Well,
bad.
it's
I'm going to
very
ask him
sorry.
on for an interview.
He's
You
done
should.
He's done musical theatre since then, so I'm shooting other things. So maybe he's grew into his actions. He was just young. He was still a young lad.
He's young in this, but maybe his acting has gotten better. It probably should have, because he's a kid in this, and it's horrible. There's only one way to go.
Teeny Bop Idol, probably management telling him how great he is. He'd full of broken bottles at the time as well. Chocolate would eat itself. So it's kind of comes across.
So there we
Jealous,
go.
not me.
That was a thing. Yes. Is there any news? Oh, the Series 8 Blu-ray is coming out in about a week's time. I
Good.
cannot wait. Terror of the Autons to the Demons. Oh, yes. Yes, please.
Does it surprise anyone else that they're finally coming out with series on Blu-ray when most people are going to digital and streaming?
No,
the
I think
BBC.
they're actually taking the lead. Look at Star Trek, for example. They've HD'd a couple of them. But that's it. I read a post on Facebook today saying about how one particular franchise was releasing their stuff and then turning around saying we can't release this because of whatever, it'll be really crap quality. And then somebody compared it to the Doctor Who releases, which are all fully cleaned up, sound restored, upscaled and proper HD scans of the surviving film. It's we are very, very lucky to have these.
I'm still waiting for a DVD quality of the 1986 TV show Werewolf to come out. They haven't been able to release.
You were online about it.
Yeah, they haven't been able to release it since on DVD, mainly because of one of the audio tracks is actually in the show and not able to be removed. It's in the room. They're playing it in the room.
So they can't afford the rights to play it.
The guy who wrote the song, which is Mike and the Mechanics, Running Silent, wants an exorbitant amount of money for them to put it on DVD.
Evil of the Daleks has been changed for that very reason. And Spearhead from Space I don't know if they sorted that out. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but releases after the initial broadcast, like video, on the video, whatever, the section with the doll factory had to be removed because of copyrighted music. I'm sure that could be apocryphal.
Well, if that episode features a song by music by Mike and the Mechanics, they would need to pay me an exorbitant amount of money to watch it, because Mike and the Mechanics were tough.
Dear Mike and the Mechanics, please can you do a cover version of the
it's
Ballad
something
of
to
the
do-
Last Chance Saloon?
Maybe I don't like the name Mike. Maybe I'll get the name Mike.
I've noticed some theme here.
My
My
brother's
best
called
man.
Mike.
My best man at my imaginary wedding was Mike, so maybe I don't know.
Maybe a little resentment. Maybe a
No,
little-
at all. No.
It's like-
Mike Bradley's a lovely guy.
I think we're finding we're basically going through the layers of his mind slowly, Brian.
What's left?
Finding out
left?
all sorts of things.
After 2020, we all don't have minds left.
Oh, no, Mike and the Mechanics was just. I don't like Phil Collins stuff. Mike Mechanics was another. The only good thing that came out of Genesis was what's his Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel.
No. Brian Pern.
I don't know him.
You've never heard of Brian Pern?
Did he feature in Mike and the Mechanics?
No.
So he's not involved with
He was the
Phil Collins' solo projects.
he was the lead singer of Thotch, prog rock group in the 70s, and then he left and they carried on with another singer.
Right.
And he invented world music, and all sorts of other things.
Wasn't it Paul Simon that invented world music?
No, it was Brian Pern.
Oh.
I should point out.
Oh, man, Brian Pern, is that not a comic thing? The guy, you've got me. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Simon Day basically turning around and giving us his Peter Gabriel piss take.
That was a Radio 2. Yeah, got me. You got me.
There's some wonderful programs, including the one where he faked his own death. It's just absolutely wonderful. I love that stuff. They got celebrities in to do voiceover talking head things, and always get the name wrong. And they had Tony Blair turn up, and it's probable war criminal, and it's just fuck. I wonder if they knew that. If he knew they were going to present him like that. Wonderful stuff. It must be on YouTube. The History of Rock with Brian Pern.
Yeah. Dave showed them for a while as well.
There's an awful lot of Doctor Who stuff in there as well. Music and whatever.
I'm going to look at it.
It's good stuff. You can look it out as too, Brian, if you want.
Okay.
He's enthused. I can tell he's enthused.
Yay.
There we go. You see that? How difficult was that?
A lot.
Oh, dear God. You are very
remember,
only
I have to go back into work tomorrow because I'm expendable. I mean, essential. And
You've reminded me of something.
oh dear God!
I'm not going to explain how. Just trust this.
And yeah.
Yeah. The wheelchair ramp saga. That's what it is now.
Wheelchair ramp.
In a while.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm going to get comfortable for this. Okay.
yeah. Tell Grimlock a story.
As you all know, I've been having a lot of trouble with a wheelchair ramp, so I can get my wheelchair in and out of the house. We got up to the point eventually where occupational therapy delivered me a ramp, but it was too wide for the door, so I couldn't use it. They then lost the replacement ramp. Eventually, someone came round who I thought was here to deliver the new ramp, but instead didn't have it. He turned up to collect the old ramp. So then, this is good. You're going to like this. We're nearly at the end. Nearly. They delivered the new ramp. Hooray! And didn't take the old ramp. So we're nearly at the end. I've got to get them to come and get the old ramp, and then that should be it. I mean, this has been one hell of a saga.
So you have 2 ramps.
Yes, I have a ramp inside and a ramp outside. Because the step on the door is quite high, and the chair just can't do it. Yeah, at the moment I've got 3 ramps for outside. The one they haven't taken away, the one they brought, and then the one I bought.
So, do you have a date to be vaccinated yet? That
Nope.
you would need to use your chair to get to there? 'Cause
I spoke to the doctor about it. I hadn't been put on the at-risk register, and it's a case of I had to sit there listening to him going through things, sort of saying, I suppose we could say this. Apart from the fact you're obese. Thanks. I know it. I don't need to be told. And because of the disease. So I've now been put on that risk thing, but at the same time, I've also been put on the list for home visit vaccination. So fuck knows when that's happening. I mean, I'm seeing people younger than me without health problems getting it. And it's...
Well, I'm not going to play the Scotland everything's perfect card, but it was like we. So my mother-in-law stays with us. She's got dementia, limited mobility. She was on the at-risk register, which is probably why is the reason why me and Angela's unpaid carers get vaccinated this week. She had her mobility issues are kaput anyway, but she was complaining of problems in her foot. The nurse came out. The nurse came out and actually then said, "Yep, it looks like gout." Got the doctor prescription. I went, got the meds, brought them back, started, and that really helped with the pain in her foot. Without prompting, though, the nurse went back and said to the doctor, "That woman can't move. You need to get something sorted." And she's at risk, but there's no way that she can actually leave the house to get vaccinated. She was vaccinated the next day.
That is brilliant.
The next day.
I don't know.
We had a couple thousand people here there were open appointments all day for in town.
Well, they weren't sort of filled up with people. You mean they'd spare appointments?
They were open appointments. They had about 1,000 open spots to get vaccinated.
How many got taken up? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you.
That'd be interesting.
All I saw was that there were lots of open
Here's
spots.
a moral quandary for you. And people have been talking about this. Should employers have the right to refuse to employ somebody who doesn't have a vaccination certificate? Should we introduce a vaccination certificate, essentially? Or,
a mandatory vaccination thing?
Not mandatory vaccination, but if you've had it, you get a certificate or whatever. Some sort of proof that you've had it.
They already do that here.
Right, well, they don't do that here. I mean, you get a little... but it's a case of... should people be allowed to be turned down from work because they haven't been vaccinated?
Over here, it's based on your job. What do you do? I had to get vaccinated when I started working at the hospital. Flu shot, TB, the whole 9 yards. I got vaccinated for COVID this year.
But would you accept the fact that you need to carry around a COVID certificate if you want to go and get a new job?
Yes.
If you don't have it, you can't get the new job.
Yes. Yeah.
See, it's
I don't want
someone
someone making my burgers that potentially can have COVID and pass it on.
But what about freedom of movement, freedom of speech,
Tough
that sort
shit.
of thing? Trust me, I can see both sides of this one.
Yeah, tough shit. Your freedom of not getting the vaccine ends at my getting the vaccine from you. If you don't give enough of a damn about your fellow humans to go get the vaccine, you're out. Go live on a little island somewhere by yourself because
It's
gonna
taken
happen.
them a year, and they still haven't trained people how to wear masks properly. You can train a dog not to go outside quicker than that.
Yeah.
I was in the shop today, and it was two burly gentlemen workers, but we were talking about big, huge guys. Were in that shop. The person behind the counter was old lady, young boy, and served them away. Everyone else in the shop had masks on. They didn't, and I think it's a macho element in terms of I'm not wearing a mask. And it was a case of a kind of bullying nature as well, and it was just not fair. It was everybody else in that shop was wearing a mask. Just because you think you're Mr. Macho Man, big muscle, or not big muscle, just big, huge beer bellies, but a bald in trade. Probably anti-vaxxers don't understand it, or don't want to understand it, can't understand it because bloody brains that small. It's just things that really make me mad. In terms of having to I'm kind of mixed here. I absolutely totally agree with what you said, Brian, in terms of I don't want somebody who could potentially give me the virus because these conspiracy theorists in terms of I'm not getting vaccinated. As a parent, right? So going back to Jack, when Jack was a baby, he was a very, very, very intelligent child. Was assessments was singing Twinkle Twinkle and was starting to talk. Jack got vaccinated and took really, really ill. Was really, really sick after he was vaccinated. So that's the MMR, whatever the first vaccine. Angela can give you details. And took really, really ill. And after that was never the same child. So this whole thing around the thing around that autism isn't caused by vaccine. Well, actually, the way the vaccine was stored back then in mercury, and there's elements of potential mercury poisoning. That kind of colours me in terms of they need to be careful because there may be elements where people due to underlying health issues or risk of other things maybe shouldn't get the vaccine. Should they then be persecuted for that because of that and not be refused for job interviews or actual positions in jobs?
It's a minefield.
But if you just don't want to get the vaccine because you think it's a hoax. You don't think the vaccine will help you. You'll never get it. Whatever. If you're that much of a sociopath that all you're thinking about is yourself, get off the fucking island.
Totally.
I'm going to read out something.
If you have
from
a medical
the green here.
No problem.
If you have the vaccine, why do you care if someone else doesn't get it? Are you afraid the vaccine doesn't work? If so, why did you get it?
Because the vaccine is only 98% effective.
Yeah, I get the Pfizer one, and that's 94% effective. Yeah, so there's still a chance.
Pfizer too.
Pfizer, 94. The appetizer.
Pfizer knocked me on my ass. So if I had actually gotten COVID, I'd be on a ventilator right now and dead.
The last kind of drug that Pfizer introduced, the last drug that Pfizer introduced had unexpected side effects, which they now use as a market for its marketing and its primary purpose. Did you have any of those experiences with the Pfizer jab?
Pfizer gave me fever, body aches, headaches, and fatigue.
Right.
To answer
all four of the side effects for 48 hours. 48 hours later, afterward, I was perfectly fine. Literally perfectly fine. Noon, 2 days after.
I said I had a sore arm, and I say sore, it was nothing uncomfortable. It wasn't sore.
Yeah. If you've ever had a tetanus shot,
but I get
how your arm gets. That's about
me and Angela will get classified as autism. It was the MMR jab that gave it. That's nonsense. We're not saying that MMR was the jab itself actually caused. There's studies around the way that the actual actual vaccine was stored and housed in mercury, and they don't do it that way. But like I said, Jack was really advanced for his age until they got the MMR. So. And again, there is an element I can see. Maybe some people are concerned if they've been through something like that previously, in terms of could there be unknown elements? These things have been fast tracked that they could catch off the back of taking the vaccine. all I can say is that we're talking about global pandemic here. Yeah, there'll be risks involved, but surely the risk of basically, like Sean's put in there, that if we don't tackle this correctly, there's still a chance that people could get COVID even after the vaccine. It's not 100% effective. There's groups of people that are on high risk areas. I mean, your grandparents, your elderly relatives, even with the vaccine, if they catch that off somebody, then because I'd be furious. I think there needs to be an element of there needs to be individual considerations taken into if getting the virus is going to put you at risk of the side effects of the virus could help you. And I know at least one person who took the first jab and was very adversely affected by it, like yourself, Brian, but really it was COVID, I think, symptoms that it was like a person we know called Diana got. She didn't get. She's a carer, one of Jack's carers. She didn't get the second jab, but when she does get that, she's getting it in hospital and she's going to have to be monitored.
Yeah,
she's taken the hit for that and went through horrific symptoms, but she's still quite prepared to go in there and take the second jab.
Yep.
People, it's a case of there's no easy answer to this one, Siobhan.
No easy answer. Radox, you're bringing up how it was tested on animals or religious reasons. All I have to say is 2 words: tough shit.
If you're fit and healthy and can take this and not a risk group and could take the vaccine, take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Please, I mean,
take the vaccine and wear your goddamn mask.
I don't know if I could go through another year with sporadically getting to see my son on a weekend and then getting taken away because the R number ever goes up again, and there's the COVID idiots out there just it doesn't exist. I'm going to go out, ignore the whole guidelines in terms of rule of 6 or rule of 2 or whatever it is this week. Just bloody take the vaccine.
That was a broadcast from the Subtlety Party.
Scottish National Party.
After
I'm just thinking back a few
out
months.
the door.
I'm thinking back a few months when this timid Scotsman came on the show for the first time and hardly said boo to a goose. Now listen to him. 2 rants in one evening. 2 rants in one evening. I'm very impressed. Have a lolly. I'm just saying.
Oh, I give it back to Jack.
It's about bloody time.
Jack.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, we're 2 hours.
After 2020, we no longer there are 0 Fs left to give about this subject.
Though you managed to find one. Okay.
Hey.
Right. We're practically 2 hours in. We've done well tonight. I've enjoyed this. It's gone really quickly.
I missed this last weekend.
Yeah.
I know it was my fault we didn't do it, but I missed it.
Well, no, I wasn't feeling particularly well myself.
And we
so
missed
I was sort
you.
of grateful. But that's the first, we worked it out, that's the first time you've ever missed the show.
No, I think there might have been one more. Is it really?
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's the first one.
it. Yeah.
Don't let this become a habit, young man.
No, I won't. Sorry.
Right,
Apologies.
say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Oh dear. Right, and now there's going to be some closing titles. That'll be fun, won't it, everyone? Bye-bye.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Lucky thing. Space goat in space. Do you see? It's a space goat in space.